All right, so what's the deal, folks? UFC Fight Night Japan just wrapped up with Josh Barnett defeating Big Country Roy Nelson in a 5-round fight. I was a little bit confused in. If you didn't get to see my video, make sure that you check out my video. I did have I had Josh Barnett winning the fight, but I thought he would be able to finish this fight. He was not able to finish this fight. So yeah, a little bit off. Did predict him to win the fight, but I expected him to win in a finish, and he wasn't able to get the finish. Of course, Uriah Hall defeated Gegard Mousasi, and let's see, we'll go over over some of these fights on this card, and we'll talk about them a little bit more in detail here for a little while. Where do we start? Because I didn't get to watch the entire event. I was watching Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder win his fight. So there's quite a few fights that I did not get to see. But let's just go over some of this here. And I was peeking in on some of these fights. Some of them I didn't get to see, so I'm not going to be able to go into detail on some of them. So let's rock with what we can rock with here. Shinzo Anzai defeated Raja Zapata by TKO in injury in the 3rd round, 47 seconds. Kahan Johnson defeated Kotani by unanimous decision, 29-28 times 2, and 30-27 on the scorecard. Nick Hines, one of the guys I was excited about seeing, defeats Kashuya. Hope that these names are completely foreign to me, so I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing them wrong. By unanimous decision, 29-28, and of course 29-28, 29-28, 30-27 on the last scorecard. That was on the more than the preliminary card. That fight was ruled a draw. We're not going to talk about that. Diego Brandao, another one of those guys who I was excited about seeing, defeats Kasunori Katana by TKO. 28 seconds left in the 1st round. Tiki Misugaki defeats George Roop by unanimous decision, 29-28 on all of the scorecards. Kayu Hichikori defeats Chico Kamas by unanimous decision, 30-27 on all of our scorecards. Let's see here. And of course, the fight, and we're going to go into details because these are the fights that I really was able to pay attention to. That would be Uriah Hall versus Gegard Mousasi. And if you didn't get to see my post-fight recap on both of those fights, the Nelson and the Uriah Hall versus Gegard Mousasi, make sure you go and check those out. But since we're live, let's talk about those two fights. Gegard Mousasi taking Uriah Hall down, starts the fight off. First. I'm going to read from my notes. Of course, Mousasi comes out, grabs a single leg, finishing it. Hall on his back with the opening 30 seconds. Now Hall tries to work his guard, but Mousasi slices into a half guard, then side control. Hall escapes just as Mousasi is poised for a mount pass, going into the full guard. Mousasi is quickly back in the half guard and finagling an arm triangle. Hall defends the choke, but Mousasi slivers into to full mount. Hall explodes his hips out again, but this time looks for a leg lock, which he didn't get. Mousasi alleviates the pressure, but Hall nearly turns into an inside heel hook, full of surprises. Hall isolates an arm and nearly gets a Kimura. That's what I was talking about on the previous video. Mousasi patiently works out and takes Hall's back in the transition with the body lock clinch. Really dangerous position for Uriah Hall there. Mousasi wrenches the Mataleo, but can't get underneath the chin. Of course, Mousasi wins the first round. Now, the second round was absolutely crazy. Mousasi came out closing the distance, but Hall starches him with a spinning kick to the face. Hall hits him with that spinning, just an absolute crazy kick to the face. I'm going to show you guys that kick, or at least a little bit of it here. Let's take a look here. Where is it? Damn, I gotta start labeling some of these things here. I just have them up on my. Damn it. I hope I didn't delete it. Fuck. That's the first round of the fight. I posted the picture on my Facebook page, I'm sure of it, but I wanted to show it from my computer, from my page here. All right, so I'm gonna have to show this from my Facebook page, which I was not trying to do, but we'll do that anyway. Here we go. This is what the kick looked like from Uriah Hall kicking Gegard Mousasi in the face, dropping him with a brutal spinning kick. And then from there, Uriah Hall able to jump on him, swarm him, and get the stoppage. A brutal kick from Uriah Hall. And Uriah Hall walks away with the victory. Now, the last fight I had, if you go back and you look at my prediction video, I had Josh Barnett winning the fight, but I had him winning the fight kind of early. That did not happen at all. It turns into a 5-round fight between the two big guys. And the problem that I had with the fight, which I completely do not understand, is that I felt like Josh Barnett had the decisive advantage in the ground game, but never utilized it. I don't understand that. It seemed to me like Big Country was going for more of the grappling game than Josh Barnett, who had the clear and decisive advantage in the grappling game. So you saw Big Country score takedown after takedown, and you're wondering what the hell is Josh Barnett doing and why is he continuing? Because we all, if you watch if you watch the UFC long enough, watch mixed martial arts long enough, you know the chin of Big Country Roy Nelson. So I don't quite understand what the hell this guy was doing, continuing to stand in there. I mean, he ended up winning the fight, but I'm just saying he had a decisive advantage in the ground. That's the way I looked at it. But yeah, Josh Barnett ends up taking the win, defeating Big Country Roy Nelson by unanimous decision, and that's the way our event ends tonight. Now, our next event, we'll talk forward a little bit here before I wrap this thing up for tonight. Next event is going to be Daniel Cormier versus Alexander Gustafsson, which I don't like this fight for Daniel Cormier. But it's going to be a damn good event too, man. You have Daniel Cormier versus Alexander Gustafsson. You have Johnny Hendricks versus Tyron Woodley. You have Bader versus Evans. You have Jordan versus, wow, is that Jessica I? Jessica I versus Juliana Pena. This is a stacked fucking card. Good boy. Benavidez versus Bagatinov. Rodriguez versus Hooker. Even down into the early prelims, there's good fights. UFC 192 is a stacked card. Like, every single last one of these fights has a chance at being like the fight that everybody's going to talk about the next day. The Cormier-Gustafsson fight, which I want to see how Cormier deals with the length of Gustafsson, because he didn't deal with the length of John Jones very well. Then you have Hendricks versus Woodley. That could be a firestorm. Bader versus Evans could be another one. Jordan versus, John Jordan versus Ruslan. That could be another fight that everybody's talking about the next day. Jessica I versus Pena can be another fight that UFC 192 is one that everybody should be tuned into. Anyway, man, I'm done. Over with. Peace.